Good afternoon. Thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to present my new marketing strategy for Tesco to you. I believe we have a unique opportunity to step change growth and increase revenue on this already highly established company, and I have developed several strategies which aim to increase revenue on existing enterprises, as well as encouraging consumer awareness on future expansion plans for Tesco. Tesco is a highly reputable multinational company with extremely varied experience ranging through many sectors, however predominantly focusing on the grocery retail market. The company was established in 1919 by Jack Cohen, who after returning from active duty in the First World War became a market stall holder in Hackney. His enterprise progressed from market stalls to high street stores, which formed the first Tesco stores we recognise today. Over the next 50 years, until his death in 1969, Cohen grew his company until it became the fourth largest chain in the United Kingdom. Tesco now operates globally in 12 countries, employing over 530,000 staff with a very loyal consumer base who support their ethic of providing great quality food and amenities at reasonable prices. Tesco not only have a fastidious reputation, their popularity translates to sales figures and market share. In 2012, they were ranked 4th in Europe and 9th globally with total sales of £153.4 billion. Their market share in the UK stands strong at over 30%, which comparatively speaking makes their market share in China and India at 0.2% and 0.02% respectively seem rather weak. However, for a westernised company to have any sort of foothold in the Eastern market is a feat in itself. Their sales in the UK in 2012 resulted at £44,600 million, a steady increase of 2.6% on the previous year, showing growth is achievable irrespective of a financial crisis in their sector. Tesco currently have 3,141 operational stores in the UK, with a total sales area of 33,890,897 square feet. This vast presence in the UK market will enable them continued dominance in the grocery market, which enables growth in other areas. The UK grocery market remains strong, with a closing balance of £163.6 billion in 2012. It has seen a £53.9 billion increase in the last 10 years, and a further £42.3 billion increase projected by 2018. On average, British consumers spend 54.9 pence out of every pound on groceries, making it the utmost importance to supply consumers with the best possible service as a reward for their substantial commitment to the grocery industry. Currently, hypermarkets, defined as stores with a sales area of more than 60,000 square feet, are the main market channel in the UK. Due to consumer demand and the need for convenience, this number is set to reduce, whilst consumers favour online shopping as it's less time-consuming and allows the customer to complete control over delivery. Tesco identifies its target market as 3 different types of demographic to market their products to. Their current marketing strategy reflects the location of the consumer, resulting in the most appropriate type of advertising to use. Their in-home and out-of-store marketing strategies rely on conventional methods such as publications online and locations associated with travel, for example roadside billboards, on trains and tubes and in their stations. Their in-store marketing is where Tesco use their most inventive methods such as product ideas and sampling stations, which aim to inspire their customers and introduce them to new products. As they already have a strong in-store marketing presence, which is reflected in their sales, it is my suggestion that Tesco should focus on its out-of-store sales to increase revenue. Tesco have already been very successful with their out-of-store marketing, which is demonstrated in the following film.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Here's an Idea, a minute and a half or so of marketing insight. I'm Hal Bryce. Today I want to share one of the coolest marketing things I've seen in quite a while. This is a case study from Tesco out of Korea. Now Tesco is that big global retailer based in England, but they actually operate all around the world. Their stores in Korea, however, were struggling because their main competitor outstored them by a large margin and they couldn't build stores fast enough to catch up. So they asked themselves the question, how can we become number one without having to build stores? And their answer was to create virtual stores. Take a look at this. What they did was that they put in these Korean subways these virtual stores that were basically flat billboards, and it looked like a grocery store. While they're waiting for their train to come in, customers walk up to the store and punch a picture of the product they want with their QR code that's on each product. That goes into their shopping cart on their phone, which then is in turn sent to Tesco, and by the time they get home from work, right behind them comes the guy from Tesco with their products. It really takes a lot of stress out of shopping, and it allows them to take time, which would be normally dead time, and actually turn it into productive time. So that's just a sample of where the world of smartphones and things like QR codes are going.
As we can see, when Tesco needed to implement a novel idea, they executed it perfectly to critical acclaim and earned themselves a respected position in the Korean grocery market. We can now see ideas such as this being put into effect in the UK with the introduction of click and collect points in London tube stations. Tesco's main competitor, Asda, were the first to implement this system, with Tesco and Waitrose signing up at the end of January 2014. As Asda hold the first mover advantage in this sector, Tesco should aim to provide a service far superior to that of its competitors. Herein lies the basis for my marketing proposal for Tesco. This will be presented in two parts. Firstly, the way in which I believe the product should be marketed with regards to consumer perception, and secondly, the way in which the product should be marketed with regards to advertising strategies. The primary purpose of situating collection points in tube stations is to make shopping as simple and stress-free as possible for the consumer. Therefore, Tesco should market their service projecting an image of simplicity and accessibility. In order to do this, I suggest that the service should be predominantly based around the Tesco mobile phone app. Once the consumer has placed the order with Tesco and selected the allotted collection time, Tesco should set up text or app alerts to keep the consumer aware of the status of their order. This will help to keep peace of mind between placing the order and collection, as they are assured their order will be waiting for them at their convenience. Each order should be allocated a QR code to allow ease of identification. The code should be sent to the consumer's phone as a text message or in a downloadable format to enable them ease of access in case there's no signal in the tube station. If Tesco implement the click and collect service with a locker system, they should also use the code to access their order. This technology is currently used by Tesco with their scan as you shop capability. When a customer scans their club card, they are allocated a handset to use while shopping in the store. This transferable technology means Tesco will not have to spend excessive capital to develop a system to use this new service. Using this type of automated system will also mean there wouldn't be a need to have a permanent member of staff on hand to help customers with their order. This will also reduce queue time. Compared with individual home deliveries, this provides a much greener service to customers, as many can be delivered at once. This should be exploited in the marketing campaign to highlight the environmental benefits of the service. Tesco could implement a reward system around their green club card point system to incentivize customers to use their service. If Tesco is successful in projecting the attractive image of their new service, they will be able to secure their position as the industry leader in this sector, which in turn will make their online grocery market share increase, allowing more dominance in the industry and aiding growth. Compared with their general services, this service caters to a unique demographic. The main consumer can be identified as the commuter in general, but more specifically, the young professional. This is the technologically informed generation of young workers who have come to expect and demand high-quality service and convenience with as little personal effort as possible. This will be the consumer who uses the service most frequently upon its launch, and therefore emphasis must initially be placed there. However, a strong participant in this service could be busy parents who are not always able to determine the specific times when they will be at home to accept delivery or put the time aside to visit a large store. In terms of the advertising campaign, I would suggest a television advert which would be played at times only when the target market are most likely to be present. For commuters and parents, this is generally in the early morning or in the evening after rush hour. Television adverts should be played during the most popular television programmes to ensure the highest possible coverage. ITV predicts a spend of around £50,000 for a 30-second advert shown in all regions of the UK during Coronation Street. Due to this high cost, the majority of the media will be spent on this method. As the service will be offered in tube stations, advertising should have a strong presence on public transport. This will also help to highlight the ease of the service, as the consumer is already in the place where the service operates, and will reinforce the effectiveness of what is being offered to consumers. A campaign such as this can cost around £500,000 for a 2-week billboard advert campaign, making this the second most costly strategy. A similar but cheaper alternative or addition to this would be to place billboards and leaflets in stores for consumers to see. These adverts would be most effective if placed in smaller, more central convenience stores in London, as well as the larger stores in the surrounding area of London, as they will reach the target demographic more effectively. As a lot of the traffic for this service will be received via the Tesco app and their website, it is sensible to place advertising here to draw attention to the new service. As the consumer is already looking at media directly related with Tesco, they are more likely to read about the service from here, making it the perfect platform for exposure. Finally, I would suggest Tesco make a how-to video demonstrating the process of how to use the click and collect service. Not only would it be informative, it was also relatively inexpensive method of advertising. Once created, it can be placed on many media platforms such as the app and their website, but also on social media such as Twitter and Facebook to increase awareness. With regards to their budget, I would recommend a £3,870,000 spend for the first month's initial advertising campaign. Firstly, I would suggest a television advert, which would be played twice a day for a month at an approximated cost of £2.8 million. This platform of advertising sees the most response for Tesco, therefore making it the most appropriate method to spend the majority of the budget on. Secondly, I would suggest a 4-week billboard advert campaign at an approximated cost of £1 million. These adverts could be placed in locations associated with travel, to reinforce the click and collect service's accessibility. Thirdly, adverts should be placed on the Tesco website and mobile phone app, which is advantageous as the placement will not incur any cost to Tesco as they already own the technological platforms. I would suggest a spend of £20,000 to create the advert. Finally, making a how-to video for an approximated spend of £50,000. This video should then be shared through Tesco's social media and then put on their app and website to raise awareness. If Tesco follows the advice given in this presentation, I believe it will be able to aid growth within their online grocery sales and increase their market share and synonymously increase revenue. Thank you.